Hi everyone. So this is our second podcast, and today, as promised in the first one, we are going to go all out about Power Rangers. Power Rangers franchise is a verse in itself. It has been really underrated by people, but the people who love it go crazy about it, and that is what is the USP of Power Rangers verse is. So today we'll be talking in a more organized manner. So let's start. Okay, so firstly I'll be giving you some rundown about a brief history of Power Rangers, like how they came to be. So it's all just very organic. In our last podcast we discussed that Kamen Rider were a thing, and they were inspired from Japanese Spider-Man, and they were the world's first Power Rangers type content. So what happened is, after Kamen Rider came out in 1971, yes, this time we have years, all right, proper years or timelines things. So 4 years after that, in Japan itself, a show came out known as Super Sentai, and Super Sentai kind of literally translates into Power Rangers actually. And from that show got really famous in like Japan and Asia. So Americans were like, steal time, but they took they took their own time in stealing. So the first Power Rangers that actually came out in USA under the title Power Rangers were Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There's a fun fact I'd like to tell you. They were going to be named as Dino Rangers, as the people who have watched it must be aware that all their powers and Zords were actually based on prehistoric animals, as in dinosaurs. So they were going to be named Dino Rangers, but they were like named Power Rangers. So some people are really under the impression like it's either under Marvel or it's under DC, but no. There is a very different franchise that owns it, and the name of the franchise is Sabin. Okay, Saban. So if you would have been observant enough, you would have recognized that in most of the Power Rangers, it's written Sabin's Power Rangers. So that Saban is the franchise which owns Power Rangers. For 3 years in between, accurately from 2007 to 2010, Disney did buy Power Rangers franchise from Saban, but Saban bought all its rights back again. So right now as well, it's under Saban. So I'll tell you a very funny thing about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. As they were US's first Power Rangers, uh, the people who have watched it very carefully, they would be able to know that there's some kind of mislink in their plotline and their action sequences. And nowadays when we watch it in that old technology imaging, we just seem to skip it because just give all the blame to, it was old technology, old cameras and all that stuff. But no, there is a catch there. USA just bought the action sequences of Super Sentai that was recorded in 1975 from Japan. And the editors and the creators in USA of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers specifically, what they did is they put that action sequence there frame by frame. They didn't change anything. That was the exact same action sequence, and they just made the actors act in accordance with the action sequence. Like before and after the action sequence, the plot was different, but the the sequences were exactly the same. I'll give you one small hint on how to identify this. Now, we all know that whenever there's a female Power Ranger, the dress also has a skirt in it, because it just does. But in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Yellow Ranger, who was a female, did not have one. And that is the only Power Rangers ever to have done that. And there was a reason. Because in the original Super Sentai, the Yellow Ranger was a guy, right? Only the Pink Ranger was a female. So in order to merge it with the action sequences, they had to make it so that the Yellow Ranger's costume does not have a skirt. So that's one catch that with which you can identify it. So yeah, that's about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In totality, USA based Power Rangers, till date there have been 26 iterations. We'll be talking about them bit by bit. So right now, I'll give some content time to my friend Dylan here. So Dylan,
Yeah.
tell me, what is your favorite Power Rangers? Like out of word of mouth, which one do you? Which is your favorite?
Oh, well, I think everyone knows that from the last episode, but I'll repeat it again. My favorite Power Ranger is basically he's like this white one which has golden linings on his suit. I don't know his name. He's like a time traveling Power Ranger or dimension hopping Power Ranger.
The Omega Rangers from SPD?
Wait, let me just search him up. Omega Ranger. Uh,
I'm pretty sure it's the Omega Rangers from SPD. He was a time traveling ranger. He was the Blue Ranger of the future SPD.
I guess so.
He could, yes. I get you, man. He was really
His
awesome.
design was really cool as well. Yeah.
I know, right?
Although I do have one question. You said
Yes,
you
please.
said the American version, the yellow guy slash girl now, uh,
Yes.
they they removed the skirt because they just didn't have an idea about what's the difference, which is kind of cool on their part for not even recognizing it, like even by mistake. But then they completely got done away with the skirts in the movie. Even the Pink Ranger
Oh,
had, like, all of them had proper like max steel level of suits. What about that?
oh, yeah. The Power Rangers movie that has come out is very, very different. Like those suits do not are not similar to any Power Rangers ever. They are, supposed to follow the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers storyline, but no, they don't. Alright? Even Goldar, which is one of the most important villains of Mighty Morphin, and he has featured in the movie, seems so different that over enthusiastic fans will only be able to recognize that that is Goldar, the same Goldar. So yeah, the movie costume designs are very very different. There are no skirts at all. But yeah, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the series, this thing had happened that due to the action sequences from Japan and to match up to that, they had to remove the skirt from a female Power Rangers costume.
Understood.
All right. So now I'll be going forward with the timeline. All right, and this people is going to be very interesting to you because I have actually researched this time. I am not lost. I have researched a lot. Okay, so let's begin. So, as I told you, that Super Sentai had come out in 1975. Now, my Power Rangers, there were a lot of iterations, 25 more. So, go time. In 1996, 3 years after the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, came out Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. And then in 1996 itself came out Power Rangers Zeo. In 1997, Power Rangers Turbo. In 1998, Power Rangers in Space. In 1999, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. And in 2000, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. And up till this point of time, they had kind of followed the same story with Rita Repulsa and the thing, alright? It was very, very connected. But then after this, the connection broke, but the verse did not. All the Power Rangers that have existed in the under the same verse on the same Earth. All right. So in 2001 came out the new age legendary Power Rangers Time Force. Alright, the red and black ranger in Power Rangers Time Force was my first favorite red ranger. He was awesome. Alright, and then in 2002, Power Rangers Wild Force. Now in 2003, Power Rangers Ninja Storm. As a kid, I had a Power Rangers Ninja Storm Morpher as well. Alright, the all the Power Rangers from Power Rangers Time Force are like mine and Dylan's childhood favorites, of course, because we have we have grown up with them. They have been with us for all our childhood, and we looked up to them. We really enjoyed them. After Ninja Storm in 2003, there was Dino Thunder in 2004, a thundering success. In 2005, a all-time favorite, nothing can beat it, Power Rangers SPD, the legendary Space Patrol Delta. Alright. In 2006, Mystic Force. 2007, Operation Overdrive. 2008, Jungle Fury. 2009, RPM. RPM, very underrated but very cool. Power Rangers Samurai then came out 2 years after that in 2011. In 12, Super Samurai, and in and from there on the word super actually kind of become a cliche. You will observe this trait now, because in 2013 there was Power Rangers Mega Force, in 2014 Super Mega Force, in 15 Dino Charge, in 16 Super Dino Charge, in 17 Ninja Steel, in 18 Super Ninja Steel. So this super trend has been going on, but it has finally stopped now, hopefully, because in 2019 there was Power Rangers Beast Morphers. I hate giving bad reviews, but Beast Morphers really sucks, man. Okay, it's very bad. And then in 2021 came out Power Rangers Dino Fury. Power Rangers Dino Fury I won't be talking about because I haven't seen it. Alright, I cannot claim anything about anything I have not seen. I don't go on opinions. Okay, so these were all the Power Rangers up till now. So Dylan, what all have been your favorite franchises in the Power Rangers verse?
Well, it's definitely going to be the ninja one, and what do you call it? The
Which ninja one?
Ninja Force? Is it called Ninja Force?
Ninja
There we
Storm.
go.
Ninja
There we go.
Storm.
Ninja Storm and God damn it, the dinosaurs.
Which dinosaurs?
Oh God damn it. You know the name. Hold on. Power Rangers dinosaurs.
Look, dude, dinosaurs are the most common type of power in Power
Dino
Rangers, alright?
Thunder.
And I will. Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. So, unplanned topic, audience. I'll tell you why dinosaurs are the most common type of power in Power Rangers, because in Power Rangers lores, it has been explained that the main, access key to the power of Power Rangers from the grid, I will tell you what the grid is later, comes from, kind of power coins. And that power coins kind of come from fossils, dinosaur fossils. So that is why most of the powers are based on dinosaurs. Okay. Other than that, of course, there's animals and there's magic, but mostly it's dinosaurs. So now that we have talked about the timeline, I would really like to mention one. We can call them Power Rangers, I guess, but they're not US based Power Rangers. They do not fall under the same verse, but they are much better than a lot of Power Rangers, so to speak. And even Dylan knows this. It's a common favorite, Ryukendo. Alright, Ryukendo came out in 2006, and trust me, even if it is Japanese and like nowadays the Japanese content as it's not up to the mark, but Ryukendo is really awesome. Alright, they don't do all that super large teams and everything. They are just three rangers with super super abilities, and they play it out perfectly. What's your opinion on Ryukendo, Dylan? I know you want to speak about it.
Yes, now Rikendo. See, now, unlike other Power Rangers shows, like you said, like some of the stories for Power Rangers can be slightly half baked, where their intentions are exactly clear. But with Rikendo, even if the quality might not be great, because of the time, the story served a purpose. Almost every decision, had a purpose behind it. Like if it was as if you know Power Rangers had the storytelling of Attack on Titan on its side. That's how good it
I know
was.
that. Yeah, as you have understood from his explanation as well. Awesome. All right, it deserves the term awesome. Weekendo was awesome. Okay, coming out of the fan zone and moving on to the next topic. Our next topic is, and didn't go all out in this one. This is about extra ranges, all right, like the fourth, like the fifth or sixth rangers in a lot of franchises, the white or the green rangers. Okay, because those are the ranges that actually become the USP of a lot of shows, and those are the rangers that become the face of that franchise in a manner.
Understandably so.
Like, yes, very, very understandably so. Like, a lot of people might not, remember SPD as in the SPD ranges, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but anyone, even if they have not watched SPD, they would recognize Doggy and his, 100 Shadow Blade suit, right? His special morpher and his special shoot, and the Omega Ranger, the Cat Ranger, those defined it. Those became the face. And like in most of the Power Rangers, there have been like a six ranger or something. I'll give you a small rundown. In Mighty Morphin, there the first ever sixth ranger was the legendary Tommy Oliver. All right, and Tommy Oliver was the Green Ranger. He was actually a pawn of Rita Repulsa. He was evil, but then he came to his senses and he joined the right side. Okay, and then Zordon made him the White Ranger, and then Tommy Oliver played out. A lot of more roles will be going on in detail about later. Okay, Tommy Oliver, just mentioning, is like the most coolest and the most powerful person in the Power Rangers verse. He's literally unbeatable there. Okay, and like Operation Overdrive, the Platinum Ranger was really cool. Jungle Fury, the Wolf, and the Rhino Ranger were really, really awesome. So things like that. Now I want to talk about something that is, I would call it the USP of certain Power Rangers. All right. So after Power Rangers franchise became a thing, some Power Rangers, started doing something that made them unique. As in RPM, for the first time, two Rangers could merge. The gold and the silver could merge. In Jungle Fury, the old masters of the beast beast kung fu, were able to transform into Power Rangers. Okay, in SPD they went to space to get a special training. A lot of Power Rangers have special USPs. In Ninja Storm, the Green Ranger could go from ninja mode to samurai mode, and that was actually first Samurai Ranger. And I really loved the Green Ranger of Ninja Storm. Alright, in Dino Thunder, the first time there was power mode, their fangs and all came out. So, like in Ninja Steel Dylan, there is a Gold Ranger and he transforms using a cowboy kind of 5-star guitar. It's like really cringe but really cool. And in what do you call it, in Mega Force, the USP of Mega Force is actually the coolest, Super Mega Force to be honest. Their USP is using their special morphers. They can literally transform into any Power Rangers that have existed before them. Alright, so any Power Ranger of Super Mega Force can turn into any Power Rangers from like Time Force, Wild Force, Dino Thunder, anything at all. So that is the most powerful USP that I've ever observed. Okay, I think Dino Charge and Dino Supercharge actually kind of overdid it because their USP was like a endless roster of rangers. Like in Super, though, they had started bringing in a new ranger in almost every episode. By the end of it, there were like 17 or 19 rangers. It's like too much. Okay, so this was about the USP. So, which have been your favorite extra rangers?
My favorite extra rangers. Okay. Okay. As you know, like I'm not that well versed, but like you said, like the what was the time morphing one? Time Force, right? Yeah, Time Force.
Yes.
I'm always gonna keep coming back to this design, man. I'm sorry. It's just the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if you want to go more specific, the the
Hmm.
white and gold one again
Okay.
is that's my favorite.
Okay. Okay. I get it. It's okay. It's okay. Let me know a lot more then.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the last podcast, actually, Dylan had lightly mentioned that he had actually played against a Power Ranger that he has not seen in any of the franchise, and he was the main villain of that game and everything. Okay, so I will be talking in detail about that specific ranger because Dylan by mistake mentioned the most coolest thing about Power Rangers was ever. Alright, so that game is named Power Rangers Shattered Grid. Okay, it's based on a comic book of Power Rangers named titled Power Rangers Shattered Grid. That comic book started coming out in 2018. There is a small live action movie on it named Power Rangers Shattered Grid again. Now, what is the grid and why is it shattered? I will tell you now. So grid is nothing but kind of the domain from where all the power keys get their power. Alright? It is basically a source of unlimited energy for the power coins. Okay, that is exactly what it is. So that is the grid, and some mainstream villains like Rita Repulsa and uh, Lord Zed kind of succeeded in breaking the grid and kind of trying to absorb their power, the power of the grid, and as a result, making the power coins inefficient. All right. So that was the storyline of Shattered Grid. It also, opened up timelines and all that stuff. So Shattered Grid by far is the coolest, comic book, live action, or game event in all of Power Rangers. Now, coming to that specific being, the name is Lord Draken. Okay, and inside the suit is nobody else but the god of Power Rangers verse, not literally, alright? It's like I'm saying that with affection. Tommy Oliver, which has always been played by Jason David Frank, one of the one of my favorite actors as well. Okay, and this guy, his existent his existence itself is kind of the proof that all the Power Rangers were in the same verse on the same earth all the time. So this guy, Tommy Oliver, in the main Earth Prime of the Power Rangers verse, how many Power Rangers do you think Dylan he must have played or might have played?
At least one. Maybe six more. I don't know.
Okay, so you did give the answer, but not accurately. You were like right but wrong. The exact number is six.
Hey,
Okay,
I said six. Yeah, I said six.
but it's actually five and one in an alternate timeline
Oh,
specific to Shattered Grid.
okay.
Uh, okay, so Tommy Oliver has been there since the time of Power Rangers Mighty Morphin. He was the first evil ranger, the Green Ranger, and after Jason, the Red Ranger of Mighty Morphin and others broke the dark saber of Rita Repulsa, uh, Tommy Oliver was freed from the control of Rita Repulsa, and in the mainstream, he chose to side with the Rangers and save the world. Okay. He was also the first extra ranger. He had a special suit, like gold armor, and then uh, Zordon and Alpha 5 formulated a new ranger for him, known as the White Ranger. Now, why is Tommy Oliver so special? Firstly, most of his Power Ranger iterations have been special because the Green Ranger he first played was not the normal transform type. He had a dragon saber, okay, and that saber was very special because it was kind of a flute from which he called his dragon Zord, and which was the coolest Zord itself. Then when he became the White Ranger, he had a suit as well. He had a talking sword and a very very fast Falcon Ninja Zord, which was very cool. And then Tommy Oliver always went with the notion of what they speak in a lot of Power Ranger franchises. That is, once a ranger, always a ranger. So in the main streamline, in the main timeline, he went along with the Rangers. He became the Red Zeo Ranger. Then he became the Red Turbo Ranger as well. Okay, there was a failed Alien Ranger kind of thing as well, Alien Ninja Ranger that did not work, so it's never mentioned. But Tommy Oliver was the White Ranger in that as well. And then in the a long time after that, he came back as the Black Dino Ranger. Okay, so this was Tommy Oliver in the main timeline. Now you all must be wondering why am I going on about Tommy Oliver? Because inside the suit of Lord Draken is Tommy Oliver, and now I'm going to tell you how exactly did he become Lord Draken, the most evil, corrupted ranger ever. So, in the timeline Shattered Grid, Tommy Oliver actually, in an alternate timeline, took just one opposite decision. But one thing has remained, that the OGs in the Power Rangers verse were always the strongest. The Green Ranger, alright, and the White Ranger that Tommy Oliver played in Mighty Morphin are still strength, durability, speed, and every stat wise the strongest Rangers to exist. Okay, even stronger than the Black Dino Ranger and the Red Rangers that Tommy Oliver himself played. So when these two Rangers powers merged, you know how in Dragon Ball fusion happens and the power is not just added but exponentially increased. That kind of thing happened. And due to being evil, he harnessed all of it. He did not leave any of it. He became Lord Draken, the guy who owns the Dino Dagger and the talking sword. The sword itself is very, very powerful. And he also, merged the Zords and created a new black dragon Zord, very, very gigantimous. Okay? And then he became so powerful that he kind of took all other Power Rangers in the mind control. He defeated Rita Repulsa and he became the dictator of the world himself. He rules the world. Lord Draken rules the alternate timeline. So that is Lord Draken for you. But of course, in this alternate timeline, Tommy Oliver did not go on to become the Red Zeo, Red Turbo, and Black Dino Rangers. But those two were sufficient. Okay. Now, this was all about Lord Draken. So, how do you like it, Dylan? This was about Lord Draken.
That's pretty awesome. That Lord Draken, like, is like Tommy Oliver, and like the alternate, like it's gonna be kind of awesome to be just a god in an alternate universe where you can just access anytime you want. That
Yep.
just like basically Sims but real.
Hmm. Yes. And I'll just mention the last part of this podcast, people. Uh, One small extra fact in the main timeline, also now, he is even more stronger than Lord Draken because he created something that is known as the Master Morpher. Alright, he put in all the power coins, as in the five he owns: the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Zeo, the Red Turbo, and Black Dino. He put them all in one classic Mighty Morpher type Morpher. Just two, but five. Imagine how strong Tommy Oliver is.
Damn.
Yes.
Although I had like one thing to correct,
Yes, please.
it kind of changes the
Huh.
whole thing. But yeah, the game that I played was Power
Huh.
Rangers Super Legends, not Shattered.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. In Super Legends, actually, all Power Rangers feature.
Yes, and the one that I was talking
Solar
about,
Dragon also.
yes,
Huh.
yes, that one is called, what is it called? Future Omega Ranger. Yes.
Oh, that's from SPD. That's Danson actually becomes the green SPD
Hey, hey,
Rangers
hey, no
in
spoilers.
future. It's like it has featured in so he becomes the green SPD Ranger and he kind of is given the Master Morpher and he's like, oh damn, is this really how strong my granddad was? Five Rangers in one,
That's what she said.
and he did not flex it. No, that's not what she said.
Hey, she could though.
Yeah. So that was about Power Rangers, people. One note from me as a fan. Look, Power Rangers are cool to, view as in live action and everything, hands down, but Power Rangers do have their comics and they're all online and free to read. Do take out the time and, view them, go through them because they're really awesome.
Especially the Rule 34.
No, I'm seriously, it is heartfelt.
Okay, okay.
Power Rangers comics are very, very underrated. They deserve so much more. Okay, please do give them a read. Also, especially the ones that they crossover, the crossovers. They have had a very, very, very successful crossover with DC and one with Ninja Turtles very recently. Both of them very awesome. Just imagine Dylan, the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as the Green Ranger of Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, no, like yeah, it was even referenced in one of the Arkham games as well, right? Like when Batman goes into the sewers, he sees a pizza box or something, and that's a reference to.
Yeah, that's a reference to a crossover between TMNT and DC.
Exactly.
Very. Yeah, but we are talking about crossover of DC with Power Rangers and TMNT with Power
Oh yeah,
Rangers.
okay, I mixed those up as yeah.
Yes, a lot of crossover happens.
Yeah.
That's what crossovers are for.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyhow,
So we'll conclude it now, audience. Did you have something to say? Sorry.
yeah, no, I was saying anyhow. It's time to wrap it up. This is basically what you.
Yes, very good, very good. So, audience, we'll wrap it up now. Thank you for the support. In hopes that you actually give us support. So, thank you very much.